I've been making glasses case for this pair I just restored. This is the episode 6 of the series. I started from a vague idea, did some sketches, and eventually made my first side piece out of leather. The whole process helped me level up a lot. Mostly because I kept running into problems and just had to face them head on. But the last episode, I began stitching the side piece onto the main body. And that's when something unexpected happened. Look at this. The sewing machine actually ate the piping strip. Now it's not only just because I'm bad at sewing, okay? I think the real issue is this kind of piping strip really needs a core inside it to hold its shape. I had this gut feeling that there are still things I haven't figured out yet. Of course, this is not the only problem. But for now, what I can do is upgrade this piping strip with a plastic core and see if it helps. So today, I'll take you through that process. Hopefully, it gives you some insight before you start building, and you can avoid the same mistake I made. Alright, let's get started. So I use this one for the demo. The original pipe strip is just flat, and the edges are barely defined. So next, I'm testing out the plastic core, just using some scrap for now. It's about 0.6mm thick. I'll show you what I mean. Wrap the leather around the core. I used to just glue it all together and hope for the best. Before I start gluing, I have to soften the nylon brush with some thinner. Give it a minute and it's good to go. Then I added some fresh yellow glue. Give it a stir, and I'm ready to the next. The thinner makes the glue soak in super fast. First layer dries, and I'll go straight in with the second. I drop the core in and pinch it tight. Should probably be using a tool, but hey, I'm lazy, so fingernails it is. My main goal is no gaps. Then I sketch a line along the edge of the side piece, just to figure out how wide the piping should be. I do double checking again. 0.6mm leather. Piping width set at 17mm. Yep, that's right. I made a cardboard template based on that. Told myself one more time. 17mm. Lock it in. Don't mess it up. To save materials, I wrapped a strip of paper around the side piece, eyeballed it on the spot, then trimmed up the extra. Now look at the ends of the piping. I used to just let them taper off naturally, follow the curves, down. But with this plastic core, that trick doesn't fly anymore. It's round and honestly kinda stiff. So I gave it a try with a hammer. Turns out it can be flattened, and that's changed things. At least now there's a direction to the ending. I can hammer it down, shape it properly, clean up the edge. Next up, cutting the leather. I mark the lines on the reserved spot, line up the ruler and cut slowly. But this leather way too thick. No way I can use it for piping like this. Before anything else, I grab a scrap piece to test the machine. Non-negotiable step. This is the skiving machine here. I'll show you how it works. I'm using a wide presser foot, and I've stuck some tapes on it to reduce friction. The round blade and the feed roller both have adjustable speeds. They need to stay perfectly in sync. Any gap between them and things fall apart. Here's the scrap I'm testing with. Feed it from this end, and it comes out on the other side like this. That's what the skive surface looks like. I'm aiming for 0.6mm thickness, so I turn the knob to lower the presser foot a bit, hoping to shave it thinner. But it never works in one shot. you have to check with the thickness gauge. Adjust little by little. That's what the scrap is for. To catch the mistakes first. This time, overshot. Only 0.35mm. Way too thin, damn. So adjust it again. New scrap. Still off. Adjust again. Nope. Again. Getting closer. Tiny trick. Alright. Nailed it. Skived leather is way softer, and now it's piping material. At this point, you got why this step matters. Also, it's a messy job. The vacuum stays on the whole time. Before going full on, I double check the skiving guide is in the right spot. This is the hand motion. No pulling, no stretching. And when you compare it to the original leather, yeah, now it's obvious why this machine is essential. Alright, back to making the piping. I trim up the extra length, then start brushing on the glue. As always, I mix in some thinner since I'm working with the backside of the leather. I brought the glue on the front. Once brushed, it forms a thin film. Doesn't feel super tacky, but it should do the job. I place the core right in the center, line on both sides, and press them together. This step painfully slow. To keep it in place, I press down hard with a ruler, right on top of the core. And look, it's way more three-dimensional now. Honestly, I should have been using the core from the start. Wish I had thought of it earlier. I decided to take off the old strip and rebuild it. And picking stitches isn't that bad. Cut one end, snip a few back stitches at the end. The whole thread comes out in one clean sweep. Good thing is that I didn't go overboard with glue. The leather underneath stayed clean. That's a small win. So I fold the piping in half, mark the center with a little notch. My plan is line that up with the center line on the side piece, makes everything way easier to position later, keep things from going lopsided. Check this out. Where the curve gets tight, the piping is too stiff to bend. So I snip a few shallow cuts to loosen it up, let it relax. No strict rule here. Just cut till it feels flexible enough. I try to keep the cuts shallow, so they don't show. Still gonna make it look decent. Back to gluing again. Both the side piece and the piping need glue. The back of the piping soaks it up like crazy, so I keep an eye on the edges, cannot brush too wide. And the glue dries so fast, I keep adding thinner. But then it gets too runny and won't hold. So I ended up brushing 3-4 times just to get a half decent bound. Absolutely exhausting. Alright, time to stick it down. I start from the middle and work outward, bit by bit. Thanks to all those little cuts, the tight curves finally behave. The gentler curves, no problem. Just line up the edges and press slowly. And when it's down, boom! Instant volume, feels more sculpted. Now the end part is tricky. The moment I tried lining it up, and glue peeled apart. Clearly this isn't stable yet. I need to rethink how to finish this. If this part goes wrong, everything else is doing down with it. Honestly, glue's letting me down. Half the piping is already coming loose. That's not gonna work. So what now? Skip the glue? Then what? What am I supposed to rely on? The sewing machine? Since I'm gonna sew it anyway, why not just skip the glue and stitch it down from the start? So here's the plan. I'm using the left presser foot to press right up against the piping, and let the guide on the right hold everything steady. And the next, needle placement. It should land right here, where my fingers is. Let's give it a shot. Yep, right on the mark. Okay, thread in, let's go. I double check the stitch line. Looks good. Presser foot pressing firmly on the left. Gas locked in. And sewing. Yes, nice, feels perfect. Take a look. Pretty clean, right? Sure, the glue underneath is still coming loose, but with the leather edge tight against the guide, the lines hold steady. Honestly, this is way better than relying on glue. I'm calling it now. This is how I'm doing it from now on. No more messing around. Totally time saver. Here, check out the result. No more glue panic. No matter how I bend it or twist it, the piping is not budging an inch. Solid as a rock. Absolutely loving this. Now it's time to attach it to the side part. I already marked the start and end points earlier. Just to follow those lines, and we should be good. I measured everything again against the cardboard template. That accurate. Yep, this is the setup. Let's stick it with it. I'm starting from the middle. Made the first stitch by hand. Felt kinda nervous. Worried I'm ruining everything with one slip. Turns out it wasn't that hard. As long as the side piece and the piping snug against the guide, the stitches hold tight. When I got near the stopping point, I marked the piping. Stopped. Backstitched. Now onto the other side. First, I drew the mark at the start. Make sure the needle was exactly there before sewing. The first stitch is a back stitch to lock it in tight. After that, it's all steady hands and focus, following the guide slowly and steady. But corners are the real challenge. One twitch and the stitches wander off. It's like tightrope walking, testing your patience and skill. This time is rock solid. No more glue drama. I can wrap up with confidence. Every stitch is tight like a chain, except one spot in the middle where I messed up, dug my own hole. I need to watch my step next time. But wait. Why do the left and the right sides look so uneven? What did I do? Did I screw up the machine? Or was it my shaky hands? I thought I had to figure it out. Handcrafting really makes you question your life choices. Some days you just mess up so badly. You wonder if you're just clumsy by nature. This bag's definitely not ready to behave. It's testing my patience for sure. I'll just keep grinding, toughen up, and see where it takes me. Fail enough times, and maybe you are not so bad after all. So stay tuned. Next time I'll show you how I try to fix this mess. See you!